So in this video, I'm going to show you how I made an undercut on my wig for a future cosplay of mine. First, I started with the base wig and I decided where I wanted to part it and try to make it as neat as possible. Then I went ahead and I removed all the wefts below that. I'll show you in the next clip. They're all sewn on, so you take a seam ripper or a razor or anything and then take them all off. This took some time, but it is worth it in the end. Then you're going to take those wefts and you're going to sew about 4 of them back on, but it's going to be going the opposite way since you want to create a ponytail effect. You can see it right there. For the undercut, I actually used faux fur. I made sure to get a really dense one, as you can see here, so you can't see the bottom netting at all. I went ahead and trimmed it to the desired length. If you have really good clippers, you don't have to pre-cut it like I did. I just have really poor quality clippers. I really need to buy some new ones, so they don't really do the trick with thick fur like this. I made sure to go over it as much as possible, making it as even as possible. Then I didn't like the color, so I decided to actually dye it a black color. I did this with a Sharpie and a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and it worked pretty well. Obviously though, if you're buying fur, I recommend just buying the correct color. Then you can just avoid this step completely, but I was just kind of working with what I had. Fun fact, you can use the same technique to dye wigs because faux fur and wig fibers are actually made of the exact same material. I learned that one in my sewing class. Wear gloves if you want to avoid what I did to my hands. Next up, you're going to take that faux fur and I just kind of mocked it out to where I wanted it, pinning it to the wig while it's on a wig head. That way I could figure out where I needed to add seams and then cut the correct shape. I ended up adding 1 seam to the back for that kind of curved section of the head, as you can see right here. Then I used a Sharpie just to mark out the area. I just hand sewed this because my sewing machine is actually currently broken, but you definitely don't have to do that. You can go ahead and use the sewing machine to make this step a lot faster and neater. But I went ahead and just sewed along that seam I marked out with pins and Sharpie. And then I went over it a few times to make sure it was like pretty sturdy, and also make sure that the fur isn't stuck in the seam. Like, you want to brush out the other side before you cut it. I then also went ahead and trimmed away any of the excess. I gave myself a little bit of extra room just in case I messed up at all. And then that's the finished piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin it on. And as you can see, I did have to trim it a little bit more, but I'd rather have way too much than not enough, because you can always cut off more, but you cannot add more. Once I pinned it, I then also went ahead and trimmed away any excess. And if possible, I do recommend trying this on because I did kind of mess up on this step and had to go back and actually redo this all, but I'm going to save you the effort or the length of the video, and just trust me, try it on before you do this so you have a better idea of whether it's going to fit or not. Yeah, and then here I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the excess around those edges specifically, and then the bottom edges I ended up leaving until after I sewed it so that it was a little bit more accurate, but obviously it's kind of really hard to sew on into those corners of the wig. Yeah, by the way, sorry for not posting all that much in this month. It's been kind of a crazy month for me. I've been kind of like trying to figure out my day job and everything. So yeah, so thank you for your patience on that. Sorry about how late this video is on the month. As you can see here, I went ahead and just hand sewed it on. I just went around the entire edge. I recommend hand sewing for this part rather than pinning, rather than a machine sewing. It's going to be a little bit more accurate. And you can take your time and make sure it's all flush against the wig. Okay, and here is the finished product. It still needs to be styled for the character specifically, but I just wanted to show you off how it looked when it was unstyled and unglued to my hairline. I really like how it turned out. I feel like it really is a great and cheap, effective way to make it, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Okay, bye.